How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about this video that many of you have sent me asking, hey, ABL, can we get your thoughts on this, your viewpoint on it? Can we get your deep, detailed analysis? And yes, you may, because I love this video. I've seen it quite a few times already, actually. And the reason why I love it so much is because it shows the contrast between a liberal and a conservative. And to be more exact, a black liberal and a black conservative. Now, one side is all government, government, government. I'm going to vote for more benefits, more handouts, more everything. All right. They center their lives and almost worship the government. You understand? Now, the conservative side is saying, hey, how can I improve myself? What can I do for my community? What can the community do to improve themselves as a collective? Right? There was a guy back in the day that said something like that. I forget his name, John something. He said, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Makes sense to me. But I don't want to talk too much right here. Let's go ahead and get into the video, shall we? All right. And you see what we have here. We have Roland Martin, very well-known leftist, a hater in my opinion, but that's a different story. And then we have King Randall, very, very impressive young man. Let's go ahead and get into it. And just for a little bit of context, I kind of cut in a little bit in the video. And right now they're talking about voting and what that can do. And King Randall was like, well, no, voting might not really be the panacea. Let's try to do something else. And I won't play the entire thing. It's about a half hour long. If you want to see the full interview, I'll link to that in the description box below.
One says to be all the end all, but it's a part of it.
But you guys promote voting like it's just gonna change like the systemic outlook of the black community. That's not where it's at. We have to get out and go do for self in our own communities.
So so define do for self.
When I say do for self, you shared one of my tweets, my videos, and I was actually a big fan of yours, but you shared one of my tweets when I said black people need to stop begging the government and go and do for self out in our communities. You shared the video and called me an idiot.
Now, why would you call him an idiot? That's a basic thing to say. It's like, rather than relying upon the government, go out there and get it on your own. Okay. And you've been voting the same way 50 years and you keep saying government, government, government. So apparently it's not working. Might want to try something else, right? Let's keep on going.
I didn't see anything idiotic about that statement at all.
So when you say do for self, like what? Explain that.
Okay, for example, here in Albany, Georgia, we complain about our school systems a lot. Many of our young men can't read. They have very horrible literacy rates. We don't have any rehab programs here for juvenile offenders. What I decided to do, I started a program 2 years ago, decided to do for self, and I started taking children into my home. I started taking custody of kids from juvenile court, and I started molding them and training them and teaching them skilled trades, etc. Now I'm 21 years old. I just purchased a school here in Albany, Georgia, to combat us being in the government-funded schools that are not teaching our children what they need to learn. So that's what I mean by do for self.
Now, let's pause right there. 21 years old. 21 years old. He bought a school, okay? And he's helping these boys that are in these bad situations, teenagers, a lot of them like right around his age, helping them to get on their feet and do things right. 21 years old. That is what I'm talking about right there. Not relying upon the government, not waiting for some random politico to come down to the ghetto and do something for you. Nah, if the schools aren't good, if things aren't going right, these are all government funded, then why don't you do things for yourself to improve the situation? Makes sense to me. I'm thoroughly impressed. Matter of fact, I met him. If not just him, I met the X-Boys as his group, the X Boys. And I'll link to his group in the description box below. But I met them in DC. I mean, these guys were like straight professional. I mean, I was thoroughly impressed. Absolutely. So this guy right here is 100% legit from what I've been able to see from him so far.
Simply getting up and going out and do it.
So
I beat the stereotype that I'm young, black in America, and I can't do anything because somebody's holding me down. Absolutely not.
So a question.
Teenagers went and go ahead. Me and some teenagers went and bought a school, and we just bought a school bus simply from going out and doing work. We decided to go fix our own communities. I'm not expecting anything from no politician. I'm not expecting nothing from Donald Trump, Joe Biden, or nobody. We're gonna go do it for ourselves, and that's what I believe we need to be doing. I can vote, sure, but nothing's gonna change in our community.
So you went to the juvenile court system. Is that not government?
Now, Roland's going to try to talk about, well, you still need the government. But his point is, look, we've been voting constantly, but that can't just be it. People rely upon the government and then just leave it in their hands. It's almost like let go and let God, right? That's why I say it's like their God, the government. But that can't be it. And if you think that way, that the government is the equivalent to God, well, faith without works is dead, and he's doing the work. So why are you hating? Stop being a hater, Mr. Martin, because he's conservative.
Absolutely.
So when you say purchased a school, and this school is going to be what? Private school, charter school? What kind of school is it going to be?
No, it will be independently owned. This will not be funded by the government.
No, that's why I asked you. So it's going to be a private school?
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be a boarding school.
A boarding school. And then for the folks to be able to afford to send their kids to the boarding school, what kind of mechanisms are they using in Georgia? Their own funds? Are they using school vouchers? What are they using?
Watch this. Watch this.
I can't hear you. Say that again for me.
I said, what mechanism are they using to send their kids there to pay for the school? Their own money, or are they utilizing vouchers from the Georgia government?
Absolutely. So for our school, we're financed completely by donors. We have many donors that have given yearly endowments to our school that will be able to pay for these students to come to our school for free. Many people believe in our mission, and we're making sure that young black men, where we live, where we don't have any rehab programs for juvenile offenders to even get out of jail and stay out of jail, we have people that believe in our mission that are trying to send children to the Extra Boys for free. We have many people that are trying to send kids to this boarding school to be able to take care of themselves. That's what I mean by doing for self. We got to simply get up and do it.
So you don't believe that government policymakers play any role whatsoever in being able to impact the lives of black boys and others in Georgia?
I mean, to a certain extent, but it's only so much you can do because, like, let's go to Baltimore right quick. Now, Baltimore city schools get some of the most money per student in the nation. So when you're talking about, like, voting and whatnot, what is that going to do when you're talking about Baltimore? At a certain point, you got to have parents that care. You got to have an environment that's conducive to be able to learn and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of these places have been run by Democrat for the past 50 or 60 years. So Roland Martin is a Democrat guy. He's going to say, vote Democrat, vote this way, vote that way. But it ain't been working. So it's like, okay, if you have everything as far as the government handouts, what can you do to actually improve it from there? You got all the money you need. Now you got to take responsibility personally to go out there and make something happen that is not currently happening. Very simple.
If we take them out of that government system, we don't have to worry about that. I keep saying,
how is that? So no, hold on. So here's a question. Hold up.
Now I'm pausing right here. I'll just leave it right there because you guys got to see the entire thing. I could let it play for the whole 30 minutes, but you want to see the full thing on your own. Now, Roland kept going on about, government. You need the government. You got to vote, government. Now, King Randall was like, look, we're not going to be worried about that. We're going to do things on our own. Because obviously what's been going on for the past 50 or 60 years in our community has not been working. And we've been voting how you want us to vote, Mr. Martin. So what do we do from there? If what you're talking about is not working, and it's been that way for a very long time, years and years and years, what's next? It's about the people taking their communities back themselves rather than relying upon big daddy government, rather than relying upon some random political guy, suit, tie, all this and that to come down and save them. That doesn't make any sense. So shout out to King Randall, 21 years old. Hey, I got a niece that's that age. I have a cousin that's like my nephew who is that age. And I mean, I'm just thoroughly impressed. There's a lot of young people out there that are like that. And they give me hope for the future. They really do. Because they're not just going to be sitting on their hands doing nothing. And I got to say one last thing before we wrap it on up, put the bow on the top. One point that he made, King Randall, that is in this interview, is that everyone has their own fight. Now, Roland Martin might be involved with just trying to go out there and vote and some of that old school door knocking stuff, and that's fine. That's totally fine. He can do that. That's his fight. But don't try to bully this man into taking up your fight. You do that. And if you have success, then go for it. Hey, you're great. You got Joe Biden in there. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. I wonder how Roland Martin felt about that, but different story. Anyway, you got Joe Biden in there. You got the House and the Senate. So, all right, you're succeeding. So why are you angry at conservatives? For what? You got what you wanted. I think Roland Martin's just trying to get ratings for his show. And, okay, he's just trying to say vote. I'm I'm trying to get ratings, trying to get money on my show. That's his fight. Now, King Randall's like, hey, I'm out here in Georgia. I got the extraboys.org. Check them out in the description box. I got all these things going on. That's my fight. Let me do my fight. You do yours. And that's it. But that's just my humble opinion. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Did you enjoy that video? How do you feel about the contrast between the two? One guy saying, hey, you got to go out there and vote. That's the way. And vote this, vote that, government this, government that. How do you feel about that approach versus, hey, how can I help myself and my community and my friends and my family? What's the better approach out of the two? Whatever your thoughts on that are, let me know in the comments below. You guys pretty much know where I stand. I do vote a lot. I'm a guy that says voting is important, but not the way that Roland Martin says. He's all about government all the time. I vote really to kind of get the government out of my hair. I don't want to have so many regulations and restrictions and rules on me. I'm not an anarchist. We got to have some form of governance, but at the same time, it can't just be a thing that it invades your everyday walking life. It's up to you to go out there and get it, to make things happen. All right? As long as we don't have oppressive rules on us like high minimum wages, high taxes, a high cost of doing business, and we're able to go out there and make things happen on our own, then I'm all for it. We're good. I have the room and the ability to be who I want to be. When the government becomes too intrusive and too invasive in your everyday life, that's when you got a problem. All right? I prefer the Alabama, Georgia, Florida lifestyle versus the California lifestyle. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.